basic drive to freedom and nation for our tribes. You helped clear the shanks of one small dawn that joined us to pluck in Chung tides, boosting at bolts of lightning in your November tryst. Journeying island to state, town to city, to global icon, started then and there. Post-merger is our sovereign narrative. Unique, notable, planned. Little red dot pulsates and regularly doubling itself. Sadly, a few rude, ungracious, niggardly minds spew and twitter across the internet. These children of success never knew broken bowls, loss of jobs, many mouths, tight choices, yet pioneers who did, endured, endorsed, kept faith, built a solid heritage for this bunch who don't grasp why we had mascots, slogans, or regular campaigns. These galvanize the way ahead, mapped and done under your trenchant gaze. Pushed by meritocracy, stand alone with our core values, hardly time for others. A new caste alert to power. They separate. I watched a few circulate at the club's midday dinner. And then I arrived. We stood. Brief silence. Then applause. You sat, visited by a stream of well-wishers. I think just behind 10 of us, cobbled 500 years of living, compared how we grew up, studied, had careers, the roads we had to make. Each of us recalling tense, specific moments. For me, that August night, when you wept, felt sheared, but sealed the common pain to overcome its harsh history and face sobering days of uncertainty. And then after dessert, you turned to me and said,
"South of Hollywood Road, that's what SOHO stands for."
And for a month or so, you reminded me of this fact. Fact of the matter is, you seduced me that night.
Right time is the right time.
You used to say I'd never succumbed. Would we still be friends?
Friends are overrated.
You used to say that too. Too much too soon. Oh, we had fun fairs, peak hikes, steak dinners that were so-so, despite wonderful wine. Breakfast in sunlight and silence. Silence so sweet before things went south. Down, down, down the broad fish belly of the Northwest. The train cuts brightly, katip, then crunchy. Guttered with salt rivers and mud, mangroves, waving herds of elephant grass, spiked with African tulip trees. Other continents banked against the tropical seabed sky. The shadow of the train, a new wall to unfinished scaffolding. The sun is bright through irrelevant windows.
I knew we shared a
see someone looking, I always look back. I indulge in these random acts of intimacy. I indulge in these random acts of intimacy because in the next moment I'm gone. The truth is, I am a unicorn. See, but no one believes me. You know, people ask,
If you're a unicorn, where's your forum?
and I'm too embarrassed to tell them how every other month I trim mine down and sell it to a sensei. So I tell them, you know, you shouldn't judge a unicorn by its horn or length thereof. It's just keratin. And there are worse things to sell away.
Like your dignity.
I saw that too. You know, the dignity of a unicorn lies in its tail. The iridescent paleness made richer by stories heard. And I feed on myth. But lately, when this unicorn picks up the morning paper, all it does is make her sad. Unicorns are made to gallop in the fields and ruminate by rivers. Now, I just tweet like everyone else. This unicorn, in uniforms, been notified. With its green secretary skirt, though the hem is set at anti-flirt. She licks her lips, types really slow. Behind her desk, her face aglow in the light of a computer. All around her, a special force of malingerers. Some are, of course, a handful of pesties. They drag their boots, take naps, and brag about the minimum they've done, or how the sweet half day was won. My simply brittle brood. Such gangly freaks, unlike the one she glimpsed last week. Out in the field, his torso bare, his gleaming skin solar bare. She feels her finger land on key, and doesn't press, and lets it be. Discovers a cavity, and then strokes it absent-mindedly. People ask,
But if you're a unicorn, how do you type?
and I'm too sad to remind them that for every question wrapped in disbelief, another piece of magic falls off.
In a society that is better place, and a woman's place is being misplaced. In the first place, man is always brought into play, and a woman can be used for play or display. Quite often in the office, man plays a pawn, and woman gets played against or played on. When man achieves, man is played up, and woman gets played down. However, woman plays along. However, woman plays along. When a playman jokes, he can make a woman feel out of place. She walks away, leaves her place. She walks away. In our society, when men and women are face to face, woman must always keep a straight face, else she might get defaced.
things that can kill a man. Of all the things you said, the knuckle dusters, the hatchets and sling bags, the invitations to the cul-de-sac, I remember this most.
If you think you can hurt me more than I can hurt you, try.
But I wear the silver armor of my moneyed people. My city sings in single-player mode. The TV's off in the bedroom, stairwell brightly lit. Even graffiti artists jammed. Another comic view. And from every angle, our inside are mirror images of the same oasis. Independent of the slope of your forehead, in the curve of the stoop of your shoulders, in the bulge of the pouches of your eyes, in the clench of your fist, when you air punch and yell, like a preacher, a rock star, a wrestler. In the wave of your voice, the trembling tears in black and white, the steel edge of your questions, the young journalist cross-examined in color, in your thinning hair. You know this old game you used to play? Fixing your hair just so and leaving the plot undone. And then falling in love is next.
Me with you.
You with yourself. Day after day. Damn, we are going nowhere. I am rowing my heart like a flirt's lifeboat in deep jungle where natives run amok. We flirt in our lifeboats. Our hearts run fast but stay going. But I will go with you each day, nowhere. Oh, to have these falling days, love, plot our leaving. Just fix your damn hair and play this old game. You. In the line between your pursed lips, in the silence of your distant gaze, we inscribe verses. I wrote your name on foolscap over and over again as punishment for letting myself be drawn into the mistake of falling for you. But all I learned in this exile was that every muscle in my hand ached for yours. Playing the game of gravity, my hands would plot a route across your hands, rows of fingers for my mouth to run amok, like soldier ants through their enemy nest. Though my enemy you will never be. So hold my hands again and look. And I tell you that I do not love her.
Let us trace the betrayal to the root, the way we trace the moonlight to the sun. I remember still the first time she called me.
Love?
How like a flower my soul opened to her. And rivers from that dark, uncharted ground would echo with her name as if a street drenched in midnight, filled with howls.
Now, we are two separate continents, where merchants once rode freely from my soul to his. Now ocean lies, as if to say to us, enough. What terrible things I've seen that you have done. But when night falls, and I hear on the air faint syllables of some familiar song,
Entrance, a sad song.
of weddings nowadays is all about the asking, right? Bigger, better bangs and bucks. And every suitor sets a higher bar for better men to raise. Flash mobs, fireworks, fighter rides, the shock and aww is how a bride computes your manhood. Though the snazziest of suits will sink without a rock of proper size. I mean, is there an issue of sincerity? You know, if over coffee talk turns by and by towards the prospect of a HDB, would it be disrespectful if I, while at a hawker stall, drop to a knee and place a tissue packet on your thigh? Chok. Can? Hainanese chicken rice. My origin is a mystery, and history controversy. Yet, you treat me like a common dish when I have found a national niche. So uncouth is your enjoyment that I question if your employment is seriously white collar, when it only price me at a mere $3. Most sumptuous meal, yet so low a price, unless the guided chatterbox. Then be prepared for billing shots. Each grain a hint of pandan and ginger, that heavenly fragrance diffuses yet lingers, accentuated by its vital body, a concoction of spices and chili padi that assaults your palate, stings the lips, numbs the tongue, yet it's the perfect fit. Last, the quality of verdict rests with the meat, and only chicken breast, done tenderly smooth and still contains succulence with thick fat beneath skin that remains. Sprayed to the bite, you rip my flesh off like a ruffian and wolf my brains down like a barbarian with thick soya sauce, the crowning glory to complete the course. May the chili burn you from mouth to anus, you misguided ignoramus. We, the garden people in the garden city, have never understood why there is no envy in our memories of crocodile farms and bamboo orangutans. Why no one praises our love for the smallness of things, or the breaks in the pavement where they grow. How could any of us know something of growth speciously in a city of hard facts?
With my ambition, trees got cut down. Crocodiles stopped roaming around Lorong Taxi drivers ceased struggling to pick up supper for their families. Here, my nostalgia is a luxury.
Well, one thing you and I agree without any reservations. Inventing air conditioning was humanity's finest hour. For who can say how much more frayed tempest would be in its absence? Well, we must go on in your absence. With that much you must surely agree. Though our faith has fastened or frayed. Whatever your reservations, you cannot postpone that gray hour when we escape conditioning. If I had my reservations about the air conditioning of our country, I'm afraid they are not solved by your absence. And would you agree to have robots conditioning our air? Technology's absence should not leave us feeling afraid to dream bigger. Being afraid cannot bring us to that cold hour of your passing, when your passing will freeze all our reservations about mental conditioning. Still, part of me hopes you live to see the day and the hour when our robot army switches on, conditioning the air tirelessly beyond your absence or mine. They've changed the word before accident on the signboard from serious to fatal, which means that at some point in the 3 days between Signing and now, in the time it took me to bake a cake, hit the gym, lunch with the in-laws, someone died. Still no witnesses. These last moments have come to this. Stylized silhouettes. But this unicorn believed in falling in love. So she fell in love with his hands. And the language they spoke when they danced across empty spaces and coaxed meaning from still air. Every gesture was an accent. Every wave and clasp a strand of thought. She watched his fingers lacing around the other and how they spoke volumes in silence. She fell in love with his voice, in speech, and in song. The way each syllable was a note. Caught in a bad romance, we found love in a hopeless place. I can be your hero, baby. From the bottom of my broken heart, in a world like this, I've got you. Why do you have to go and make things so complicated? What can I do to make you love me? Baby, you're a firework. Would you hold it against me? The music gets the best of me, guess who gets the rest of me? You have the right to remain right here with me. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Deep in the dark, you'll surrender your heart. Give me something to believe in. All you ever did was wreck me. I used to be love drunk, now I'm hungover. Kiss me down by the broken tree house and leave me out and throw the beauty on the fire. Tonight, could I be lost? Forever and always. Narration against a sumptuous symphonic soundtrack. The movie will parade a phalanx of experts, advertising your accomplishments, while leaving out what is always left out. There will be public screenings, followed by spontaneous voting using paid volunteers. But others will imagine another movie with real citizens, activists, intellectuals, detainees. But what will be surprising is how some of us will soften in the face of mortality. Yes,